Guys, I want to get to ExxonMobil because, it was once the largest market cap, or right up there.
In 2013.
Yeah, not even that many years ago. $250 billion is not nothing, or $274 billion, excuse me. But the company did report earnings. You can see the stock, of course, has had a very strong run this year. We've talked a good amount about it. But also in the midst of this incredibly consequential transformation of the company, under pressure it had been previously from shareholders, a reconstituted board of directors, had a very good quarter. Not unexpected, perhaps, because we all know the price of oil and chemicals and so many other things.
You can't mention, you have to talk about Mike Wirth and Chevron. Very good quarter.
Well, I want to spend a little time on ExxonMobil because I know you love Chevron.
I'm fine.
And I know you favor that over Exxon. Exxon did increase the dividend. It sort of seems a lot more secure. They've reduced their debt as well. But really, with a focus, Jim, for both of these companies is on their plans to continue to lower their carbon intensity.
Right.
Exxon saying they're ahead of prior emission intensity reduction plans, and they go on to tell us that they will announce more aggressive emission reduction plans later this year. So we want to keep an eye on that.
Chevron
because
did not
that'll be important. And
Chevron had already upped its ante, though. They went from $3 billion to $10 billion.
Now, as for Exxon, they plan to spend $15 billion over the next 5 years.
Okay.
And of course, they do have those carbon capture sequestration projects in development. And we are going to get an update as well on their. They've already hit a lot of their goals for 2025. So, they all were in front of Congress yesterday.
Yeah.
Not as many headlines from that as you might have anticipated. Perhaps if they'd been in person, maybe there would have been a bit more drama. But
AOC wanted Mike Wirth to resign.
Yes.
When I spoke to Mike, I said, please don't resign. It could hurt the stock.
Yeah, and Chevron, to your point, Jim, and I'll let you reported very strong numbers as well. Again, they also can use the increased earnings and cash flow right now to increase spending on reducing carbon.
Yeah, but compare that, by the way, to BP. Or how about, David, you got to get all over the Shell situation. Because Shell really is disorganized. There are a lot of issues. And so Loeb, the activists, may be right to pick on Shell. They're very mismanaged, I think.
Yeah.
Shell Midstream should not be.
Right, that was the story the other day in terms
That's
of
a
third point,
there.
potential split in the company. But that's Exxon this morning. We will continue to focus on this because it is an incredible transformation of these monumentally important businesses in the world. Now, they still have to obviously meet the demand that's out there as well. And, Darren Woods talked about that. I think we may have it earlier on Squawk Box. Take a listen.
How do you strike the balance between continuing to meet the needs of societies around the world with today's energy system, one that billions of people rely on, while society tries to or evolves into a lower carbon emissions future? I think that balance is critical. If you're not investing, your supplies are declining, and we're feeling that now, particularly as the demand is picked back up again.
Sort of that sums it up, right, Jim?
Mike Wirth and Chevron invested big, particularly in 2016 when they were in Gulf of Mexico, and they have they're doing about 3 million, a little more than 3 million a day, but Kazakhstan, within the next year, is going to produce 1 million. This is a project that they've worked on a long time. 1 million barrels a day, which is really rather amazing. Look at a couple 100,000 more from Gulf of Mexico. But what I really like about Chevron is it's got actual growth. It's got a dividend aristocrat record, continue to raise the dividend. It's got a very big buyback. And I think that this is the growth stock that people at home should own. It is a very inexpensive growth stock. He talked with Mike about it, the idea that maybe it could go up 40, 50% just because it's the most investable in the group.
By the way, WTI is on pace for its finally a weekly decline after about 8 or 9 weeks to the upside.
I'm glad you brought that up because this quarter was based on 60 to 70 oil.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what the next quarter is going to be like. Rather amazing.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.